Hello and welcome. I'm Shalini Verma. Wildlife is a precious gift to this planet. Like humans, wild animals, plants, marine species play a role in maintaining a healthy ecological balance on Earth. Sadly, it's the unregulated human activities over the years that have caused severe losses to other life forms. Today, many wildlife species around us are endangered, some of them pushed to the verge of extinction. Their habitats have been destroyed and they are being poached, their body parts traded illegally. Run by dangerous international networks, animals, dead or alive, are trafficked much like illegal drugs and arms. From poaching of elephants for ivory, tigers for their skins and bones, rhinos for their horns and tusks, to marine turtles and critically endangered pangolin for its scales and meat, we are on the edge as never before. Wildlife trade today is the second largest direct threat to the world's most endangered species. Although it is controlled by laws created by member countries of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, the illegal trade continues. How does it impact the environment, the world around us, and what can be done to stop it? We discuss it all in the show today, and joining me in the program is Dr. Fayaz Khudsar, wildlife biologist, and Dr. Sumit Dukia, Assistant Professor, Animal Ecology and Wildlife Biology, School of Environmental Management, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. Welcome to the program. Let me start the discussion with you, Dr. Khudsar. One needs to first understand what exactly poaching is and how does it impact the ecology?
It's a very interesting to see that animals are not simple animals. For example, tiger is not a yellow animal with black stripe, but it plays vital role. Poaching is a process, you can say, where animals are killed for its body parts, and that is being sold in the market, and illegal trade thrives across the world. When you look at the impact of poaching, it is very interesting to understand that poaching impacts community, the neighborhood community, the people stray. And when you look at it, the wildlife population itself get a lot of effect due to poaching, and finally ecology is largely affected if poaching is rampant in your area. And the best example to see it, the recent local extinction of tiger from Panna Tiger Reserve and Sariska Tiger Reserve. Panna, because I have been associated with Dr. Raghurandan Singh Chundawat, and I have seen that how Panna thrived from very small population to large population, and forest department worked hard to see, and suddenly I have seen demise of those tigers. How it happens? Because if you have a population of 40 tigers in a place, it does not mean that all tigers are breeding population. We have very few, 2, 3, 5, and poachers never understand whom they are killing. So if they kill all the breeding individuals, male or female, your entire population goes away from your hand. So poaching has serious impact. Not only that, if you remove the major carnivore or bigger predator from your area, the co-predators and lesser predator grows very high, and therefore ecological turnover from the ground disrupted in such a way that entire trophic structure drops, and therefore the system becomes functional. And if that system is not functional, the ecological goods and services you expect from the system is not possible to achieve.
So if one has to understand it from you, Dr. Dukia, how do you see the severity of this problem, the scale and the magnitude at which poaching, or for that matter, illegal wildlife trade as a whole happens in our country?
So illegal wildlife trade, actually after poaching, if a person is selling in the market and that market is nowhere exist, it is totally undercover, and everything from the tiger, like we are talking about tiger, so from the skin to nail to whisker to teeth, everything is sold in the international market, and that is getting like a very high price in through various mediators and traders, and it ends somewhere in the southeastern country, China, and goes in some lakes.
Okay.
So that money is giving a kind of illegality, severity, and people used to kill, and they are trapping and asking the local communities to kill the tiger and give it to a middleman, and that middleman is again giving through various hand, it goes up to the international market.
Okay.
So this entire network, and all of them are working in a very tightly knit organization style, and they are having a international network of this type of trade. So traded animal part goes through various routes and pass the international boundary of India and goes in another country.
And what are the mechanisms that we have put in place to control it, to check it?
So mechanism like all enforcement agencies, if we are talking about from the forest, so forest department is the first agency who is dealing with this type of problem. Then the police department, then all the transport department like railway, air transport, rail transport, road transport, and all these agencies are working in hand with the forest department as well as the police department. And since last 8 to 10 years, the magnitude of this poaching is so high. So various agencies come together and they form a very well-informed network. So all these agencies are sharing information with each other that what type of species are going to become under the trade in the current time.
Okay.
So how to identify that species, because nobody is complete. Like if we are talking about the forest department is well aware about the species identification, but the police personnel is not.
Yes.
So they are getting information from the forest department how to identify the species, as well as like the BSF person who is
at the border. Yeah.
So how he have to understand which type of part, because they are not selling entire tiger.
Right.
So they are selling parts of animals. So how to track that part. So like this is a tiger part, this is a rhino part, this is elephant part, and they are informing the enforcement agencies, and the enforcement agencies are making a big scissors.
I tell you,
Yes,
I'd like to
yes,
add
please.
one
Yes,
thing
please.
through your channel. I'd like to request all the agencies that whenever you find anything, without any confusion, quickly you say that this is Schedule 1 species. Let the criminal come forward to say that this is not Schedule
1 under the Wildlife Protection Act.
And when you look at if we get a nail, it might be a plastic nail, but in first instance, the moment you say, no, it is a tiger nail. So that put all onus to the criminal.
Okay.
Don't allow them to leave, because that way they will understand that even you are creating fraudulent market of nails, that should be stopped.
I think that's a very important point. We need to do it, especially since it involves containing a particular crime and booking the perpetrators. We'll take a very short break now in the program. Stay tuned for more on the other side of this break.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. Wildlife smuggling is a global epidemic. Worth billions of dollars a year, the illicit trade is driving animals such as rhinos, elephants, pangolins, and sharks toward extinction. In a little over a century, the world has lost 97% of its tiger population. An accurate count of how many tigers are left in the world is uncertain, but surely the numbers are alarmingly low. For instance, the Bengal tiger population has reduced from around 14,000 tigers in 1947 to probably less than 2,000 or around 2,000 tigers today. According to the WWF, there are now around 3,000 odd tigers left in the world in the wild, with India having the largest population of wild tigers. Now, one of the crucial things before going into the break, Dr. Kutsa, that you were talking about was putting the animals or any poached part discovered by the enforcement agencies or let's say the BSF into the Schedule 1 of the World Wildlife Protection Act. One would like to understand that why this portion or why this exercise is important.
It is very important to understand that we need to put all onus on criminals, and therefore even any item you find which might be fake, but you put Schedule 1 so that a stringent, even less than 1% chance is there of originality, that fellow should be behind the bar.
So this is specific of the Schedule 1
Schedule
of the
1,
Act.
because if you are a Schedule 1 animal, then you have, say, you have to pay, say, 25,000 rupees and 7 years of imprisonment. So,
I understand there are 6 schedules in the
yes,
Act
there are
with
6
varying
schedules.
degrees of...
So there are 2 schedules are very unusual, like Schedule 5th talks about vermins, and Schedule 6 talks about plants. So plants are also very important.
Right.
So therefore, while looking at any animal and putting them into Schedule 1 while filing your cases would help you. Would help you because that criminal has to put a lot of effort to say that it is not Schedule 1. Because initially you find a part, any part,
Yeah.
and you quickly say that no, it is fake or something else, then the benefit of doubt will go to criminal.
Okay.
So therefore, it is my suggestion that whenever you find any part, you resemble that part and you consider that part as an original part.
And how otherwise you think our Wildlife Protection Act is? Is it a very strong act, or do you think that there are more changes needed in order to keep pace with the scale at which these illegal activities happen?
No, it is very strong act, I tell you. Probably India would be one of the very important country who has such important act. But unfortunately, the prosecution rate is very low because the capacity building of frontline staff is not so strong that they should understand that whether Nilgai is there as a Schedule 4, or if there's a Chinkara, and in the remote area of central India, I found one forest guard was saying it is Hinia. When you say Hinia, has no meaning. So every animal is placed in a specific schedule which has a specific meaning, and a specific law comes for that animal.
Yes.
So while writing your case as per Wildlife Protection Act, you need to identify it correctly. Otherwise, you yourself would be in trouble.
But one of the important things also about these heavily poached animals, or the ones that are usually traded, is the fact that some of them are widely known, others are not so much known. If you can please throw more light on the scale at which it happens, and which all animals are we here talking about?
So like what I earlier told you, that on the scale of the poaching as well as the size of the animal, we used to put these animals into 2 categories. One is commonly known animals under the poaching, tiger, rhino, then leopard, snow leopard, lion, pangolins.
Okay.
Then few animals are under lesser known category because of their small size, and that trade is localized.
Okay.
Like I am talking about monitor lizard, and all these lesser known species came into that trade, or came into that in our knowledge that it is under trade is since last 8 or 9 years only.
Okay.
So monitor lizards, then your mongooses, star tortoise, and other land water tortoise, turtles, spiny tail lizards, sea cucumbers, sea horses, then red sand boa, and many birds as a pet in our houses. So people used to keep birds as a pet animal. It is not for meat consumption, but for the pet, and it is also in illegal trade. And that trade is pushing all these animals in a severe category of like under pressure, and like many of these animals in the last 3-4 years given a special schedule, like I am talking about this mongoose. So mongoose has been upgraded from lower category to the higher category in the Wildlife Protection Act to give a special protection status, so that animal can be saved through this poaching. And for what mongoose is poached? Just to make a painting brush. So a small painting brush is killing an entire species.
I want to understand the exactly the psyche behind this, as to why this sort of the rampant crime that you see. Why does it happen, Dr. Kutse? You really, I mean, one fails to understand. There's hardly anything coming out of such small, tiny animals who are being poached like this.
I tell you, it is very interesting that Homo sapiens sapiens, the 2-legged animals, are very funny animal. And they think they are the supreme primates with a central nervous system who can dictate all the terms. Therefore, even tiny geckos. Look at geckos. The tiny geckos are being used as aphrodisiac. I think that rhino comes out, and while somebody is going for hunting, rhino should interact with hunters, saying that you look at my horn you are using at a aphrodisiac. My number is declining. If we have so much of aphrodisiac, we are declining, and your number is increasing. Still, you need more aphrodisiac.
I want to understand, these are the figures, and you may please correct me, that a rhino horn fetches about $60,000 or more per kg in a black market?
Yes.
Now that's enough. I mean, a rhino won't be allowed to speak
If
at
you
all.
look at
First, they will go for the kill and get
Right.
its
If you
horn.
look at the tiger bones, tiger bones can fetch, say, about $2,000. One skin, $30,000. Not only bigger animal, what Sumit has said, one is very interesting to see, because I grown up in an area where I see the migratory birds, which are very important. And when they come, like one of the very pretty bird, what you call as red-crested pochard, which you locally known as lalsar, being killed, poached, and sold in the market for meat. 5,000 a pair. That way they sell. So therefore, even sand boa, red sand boa.
Yeah.
If every red light, if you see somebody comes and touches you and saying that you give some money, and if I usually what I do, I snatch that sand boa, I keep it in my bag and take it to the riverine area, because sand boa is a beautiful animal, requires sandy bed to stay. So like for you see pangolin. Pangolin is not only meat, again aphrodisiac. Bones are nothing but you can get a tablet in 20 paise, calcium tablet. That is the bone. But there is a bloody superstition across the world.
Which is why pangolins are perhaps the most,
Yes.
the highly poached
highly
mammal, I'm
Not
sure, in the
only
world.
that, in some of the country, I remember one of the organization has come out with a lot of data. Some of the countries have a feeling that if you are wearing a gear or cloth of tiger skin, you are seen as a highest in a
Yes.
society,
Cut above
and
the rest.
therefore many tigers being killed. I tell you mind it, that China, who is the biggest market, is today has a lot of economic slog. It's not very fast.
Yes.
So now the number is going in such a large number. If you see when economy will increase, what will happen to the poaching numbers? It will escalate.
But the way pangolins have been poached and killed, what would you like to say about it? Doesn't it show that we have not been able to do enough to save these animals?
Unfortunately, poachers are more intelligent, it seems, because as I told you, our frontline staff from the department has very poor capacity building. I always feel very emotional that a forest guard with a stick, a small salary, families are far away,
Is expected to safeguard them.
Yeah.
and safeguard them
And that is-
something
that
which
is
is
the
very,
only
very
weapon we are
precious.
having.
As I say, I must tell you that tiger, as I told you, tiger is not a simple black animal with black stripe, but tiger brings drinking water.
But has Project Tiger helped us? Has it helped the animals?
Yes. Actually, initially when you look at Project Tiger, when they started working, it miserably failed, I must tell you. But after that, when we had Sariska and Panna fiasco, we could understand, and government came out with a National Tiger Conservation Authority, and they are performing well. I tell you, when tigers are being poached, leopards are being poached, then numbers are increasing actually. Due to stringent law and lot of protection measures taken by Forest Department, numbers have increased. But still, the number of forest guards is very low. So we need to increase the number of forest guard also.
But there are, besides, of course, the Tiger Project, there are other conservation projects also going on. Initiatives being taken to protect the elephants, sea turtles, crocodile conservation project, and similar conservation plans. But how far they have been successful in controlling these crimes and ensuring that these species are saved and protected? And what more is really needed in order to have a more efficient system to deal with such crime? We'll talk about that. Time for a very short break in the program.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. Poaching and illegal wildlife trade pose serious threats to some of the world's most valuable and ecologically important species. Though many countries have adopted legal framework for wildlife conservation, it's the enforcement of the law that holds the key. With criminal networks getting more sophisticated than ever, new high-tech approaches, scientific technologies are being developed to identify the perpetrators and bring them to justice. Before we talk about that, Dr. Dhukia, would you please throw some light on the trade routes which are really followed in our country also, to understand as to how this crime pattern, how does the process really happen?
Like enforcement agencies and the traders, both of them are very intelligent, and they are working with a very vast network of intelligence, surveillance, as well as the tip-off. So a poacher is poaching, and he is selling its part of the product in local market, and that goes to by hand in, like earlier I told you, to the international market. So if an animal is poached somewhere in Rajasthan, the trader is selling it through MP route, Madhya Pradesh route, or from UP route, and it goes up to the local trader is either in the Kanpur or in the Gorakhpur, and it goes in the Nepal side. From Nepal it goes in the international market. So this is the trade route. Lesser known places, and the traders are also changing over the years.
I'd like to add one thing, because citizens of the country should be seeing this program. They should understand that the parakeets which they keep in their house, they are being guided by Wildlife Protection Act. The partridges you keep being guided by Wildlife Protection Act. Please see it. They are not simple bird. They are your bird. They are a big pollinator. They help you in dispersal of seed. Please save them. Don't keep in cage. So people should understand that the animal, the bird which is in cage, can send them to jail.
Okay, but one of the key things about the poachers and the sophisticated technology they have, one needs to understand that how can any enforcement agency, how can the police, how can they counter such poachers? What are the things that we are employing so far? There are lots of things which one hears about: tagging, sensors, camera traps, satellite imaging, artificial intelligence, point-to-point router network. What about the mechanisms we are using so far?
Actually, most of the technique we are utilizing. When you see as far as trade is concerned, wildlife trade is concerned, radio telemetry plays one of the very important role, because you can locate your animal, its movement, its home ranges, especially in the case of tiger, rhinos. Those big animals has a big home ranges, and sometimes in Panna we have seen more than 200 kilometers. Okay. So when animal is going out from the protected area in the buffer ranges where they are in great trouble, so through radio telemetry you can understand where your animal is going. Accordingly you put surveillance for it, and similarly for rhino you can do it. But the other thing very important, if your animal get poached, how can you identify that from which place this animal has came? So CCMB, the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, came out with a solution, and we started looking at the fingerprint, what you call as, and we took at hair or something. Even if you can get a scat, you can identify the animal. Okay. So we have identified animal with us through camera trap and many other things. We are also trying to see that individual DNA, through individual DNA, how individual animals can be identified. Okay. So recently I remember in Uttarakhand, couple of tigers were killed, and they were identified that they are from Corbett.
Okay, I think that's a very important note. Would you like to please add something, concluding remarks?
So, like we all know, Wildlife Protection Act is very strong act, and time to time it is also amended up to the 2006 and 2000. Recent one is that we established an entire official system, statutory body under the wildlife, under the Ministry of Environment and Forest, known as Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, and it is having all power from the Forest Department as well as the Police Department, and they are coordinating with all the enforcement agencies in the entire India.
In short, we are right now.
And leopard is suffering largely. Nobody knows. We know tiger, but leopard, poor.
And there are many species.
I think one important thing is to be aware about all this. There has to be proper coordination and proper infrastructure in place if we have to control this crime, and it has to be seen as a crime. alone if we have to really nail it there. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me in this program. Well, clearly, a decrease in the demand for illegal wildlife and wildlife parts in the market would automatically impact poaching. If no one is buying these products, there will be no need to kill these animals. Think about it. You can share your views and suggestions with us. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.